The Week 2 matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated games of the early NFL season. It's a rematch of the Super Bowl, it's happening on Monday Night Football, and the stakes already feel sky high. Both teams enter with plenty of storylines, ranging from injuries and key positional battles to weather concerns that could affect the way the game is played. On the injury front, the Eagles will be without tight end Dallas Goedert, a significant loss given his reliability in the short passing game and as a safety valve for Jalen Hurts. However, Philadelphia got some good news with Landon Dickerson expected to return, which helps keep their offensive line intact. For Kansas City, things are a little shakier. Rookie wideout Xavier Worthy is listed as doubtful, which takes away some of their deep speed and puts more pressure on Rashee Rice to act as the lead receiver alongside Travis Kelce. When it comes to matchups, the trenches will tell the story of this game. Chris Jones against the Eagles' interior offensive line will be one of the most important battles, and Philadelphia will need Dickerson, Jason Kelce, and Cam Jurgens to hold firm if Hurts is going to have time to operate. On the other side, Jalen Carter could wreak havoc against a Chiefs offensive line that looked vulnerable in Week 1. Both of Kansas City's tackles struggled badly, and if Carter and the rest of the Eagles' defensive front can get consistent pressure, Patrick Mahomes could be forced into uncomfortable situations all night. In the secondary, all eyes will be on Adoree Jackson. Kansas City leaned on him heavily against Baltimore, but he was targeted repeatedly and gave up plays. A.J. Brown, who had a relatively quiet opener, could be in line for a bounce-back performance if Hurts looks his way early. Without Goedert, the Eagles' offense may lean heavily on 11 personnel, keeping 3 receivers on the field to spread out Kansas City's defense. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Devontae Parker are a tough trio for the Chiefs' corners to handle, especially if Hurts is willing to test them deep. Saquon Barkley will also need to make his presence felt more than he did in Week 1. Last week, he was bottled up far too often, but this offensive line should create better running lanes. Designed runs for Hurts could also play a role, especially in the red zone, where the quarterback's ability to push the pile or improvise has always been a weapon. For the Chiefs, their challenges are clear. The offensive line is the biggest weakness on the team right now, and Baltimore exposed it. If Kansas City cannot give Mahomes time to set his feet, it will not matter what the receivers do downfield. The run game, led by Isaiah Pacheco, is not strong enough to carry the offense if the line is losing at the point of attack. That leaves Mahomes once again needing to be the superhero, extending plays, escaping pressure, and finding Kelce in broken coverages. It's a formula that has worked in the past, but against this Philadelphia defense, it may not be sustainable for 4 full quarters. One extra wrinkle is the weather. Forecasts call for storms and heavy winds at Arrowhead Stadium on Monday night. If conditions turn sloppy, it could limit deep passing and force both teams to focus more on short throws and the ground game. If that happens, the edge tilts toward Philadelphia, whose offensive line and running attack are more reliable than Kansas City's right now. As for predictions, the Eagles feel like the better-rounded team coming into this one. Jalen Hurts has multiple ways to attack this defense. A.J. Brown is overdue for a breakout, and the pass rush should finally make its mark. The first touchdown could come from Hurts on a quarterback sneak or from Brown if Sirianni chooses to force-feed him early. When the dust settles, Philadelphia looks like the team better built to win in the trenches, and that should matter in a game of this magnitude. The final score prediction: Eagles 31, Chiefs 27, though a 27-24 outcome wouldn't surprise anyone. Ultimately, this game may come down to whether the Chiefs' offensive line can hold up against Philadelphia's defensive front. If the Eagles dominate that matchup, the game could resemble their Super Bowl win. If Mahomes escapes pressure and creates magic, Kansas City will have a chance. But given the current matchups and conditions, the Eagles have the edge to walk into Arrowhead and walk out with a huge win.